The following program contains strong language and scenes of clowns. Viewer discretion is advised. And we're at the carnival. All around you can hear children laughing, children screaming, children calling you a and other various noises, sights, and smells to thoroughly overload the senses. My name is Brona, and I have no idea how we got here. I just want to go home, and this is Are You Afraid of the Snark? Oh good, those kids are out in the middle of the woods late at night again. I was almost worried they were safe in bed, and this was another show. But I guess for the first, and I'm pretty sure only time, we're starting smack dab in the middle of a story. It's another Betty Ann story this time, which I actually did not do on purpose. But I do think Betty Ann stories are my favorite.
That's all, I'm gone.
We've been brought out of the story because Blondie over here, not being like other girls, is scared of clowns. She finds them unsettling. She finds them creepy. She doesn't like how they do their makeup. And she certainly did not come to tell scary stories around a campfire to be scared.
What's the matter?
I was just getting started.
This is a clown story. I hate clowns.
Eric, who leaves after season 1, and I couldn't be more thrilled, accuses her of having bozophobia because he doesn't know the word coulrophobia.
Oh, I heard of that. They call it bozophobia.
Guess we finally found something wrong with Miss Perfect.
Ooh. Hey, I didn't say it.
Ever the type A personality, Miss Perfect puts on her tough girl face and says, "Do your worst," because she's insecure about her own stories and just wants Betty Ann to tell a bad story just once. Gary, the Miss Finster of the group, scolds Betty Ann for not beginning properly and demands she adhere to the procedure for submitting stories for approval as outlined in the Guide for the Midnight Society, page 14, section 5.
Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society, I call this story The Tale of Laughing in the Dark.
And we're back at the carnival. I still want to go home. Why did you even bring me here? There had better at least be an American Horror Story freak show around here. Anyway, I guess this place is called Playland, and there's a spook house, if anyone actually calls them that, called Laughing in the Dark. It's like a fun house, but spooky. 3 friends, or more accurately, 2 siblings and the bully that follows them around, debate going in.
Let's go in. What's the matter?
I'm not going in there. They say it's really haunted.
Give me a break.
Kathy isn't going in because it's haunted. Josh, who I am going to refer to as Snot instead because Josh is too good of a name for him, and spoilers, Kathy makes a very astute observation about him later on, doesn't believe it's haunted. The 3rd kid is named Ouija.
Ouija, it's a kiddie ride.
Maybe it's short for Ouija board.
I could see your twerpy sister being chicken. But you, come on.
Snot starts doing a chicken dance like he's a member of the Bluth family, and he bumps into a man who is the spitting image of a serial killer. John Wayne Gacy starts speaking in rhyme because hip-hop was very big in the 90s, and tells Scott that Zebo, the clown, is very much real and waiting inside the spook house.
Don't believe in old Zebo, eh?
Who are you? I run this place, I do. And he's in there, all right. Just waiting. Pick the right door and you'll go free. Pick the wrong door, and there he'll be.
Snot isn't scared, but boy does he look like he is.
Coming in, Mr. Brave Young Man?
We interrupt this regularly scheduled program to bring you an important message about your friends who are scared of clowns. This fear can be paralyzing and debilitating. It can be so intense that sometimes even hearing a story told by an actual child that has so far not even featured a clown, but only made one reference to him, can wreak havoc on their nervous system. So please, check on your friends. Even the pretty blonde one. You doing okay, Kristen?
Fine, I'm fine.
Okay, good. Let's continue. The next day, Ouija Bobiji shows everyone a newspaper article from 1924.
But then I found this.
Itchy clown caught in calamity.
Zebo, clown, smoker, criminal mastermind, stole $4,000 from the circus.
A clown known as Zebo stole the whole entire circus payroll.
Where the circus got that kind of 1924 money, nobody knows.
Wow.
He got caught, though, and they chased him into Playland. He ran into the spook house, and he would have gotten away.
And he would have gotten away with it, too, if it hadn't been for those meddling kids. Well,
The cigar.
Cigar?
if it hadn't been for the fact that he couldn't wait until the coast was clear to have a cigar, and if he hadn't dropped it and set the goddamn place on fire.
The police figured he threw one away in the spook house because the whole place caught fire, with him inside.
Fire spread quickly and attempts to rescue Zebo were futile. Tragically, the clown perished in the inferno. Ew.
Smoking's bad for your health.
When they rebuilt the Laughing in the Dark, they decided it would be so cute to put a dummy of the clown that was literally incinerated at that very location at the end of the maze to scare people. Legend has it that Zebo's ghost haunts the spook house, and legend is so right about that. Snot takes note of the fact that Zebo smokes cigars because it'll come up again later. And then he threatens to tickle Kathy like some sort of sick weirdo. She runs outdoors, grabs a trash can lid, and Snot runs right into it, to which Kathy remarks, "Don't mess or I'll bump you in the head." Iconic. Ouija, with a name like that, dares Snot to enter Laughing in the Dark all alone, and Snot grabs his shoulder and initiates one of the most graceful transition scenes you've ever seen, and they're standing outside the spook house.
You're gonna eat those words.
How are we gonna make sure he goes all the way inside?
You're not, twerp. Unless you want to come with me.
She's right. You could just hang right inside the door and never go through.
To ensure that Snot actually goes through the whole thing, because nobody trusts him, he agrees to bring back the nose of Zebo as if it were the head of Medusa. If and when he does, Ouija will have to wear the nose to school for a week because he really needs more reasons to be bullied. As Snot walks up to the door, out bursts the creepy carny from before, saying, "Oops, didn't mean to scare ya. But sir, those eyes tell a different story. That facial expression corroborates the story that the eyes are telling. This is exactly what it looks like when someone is trying to scare someone. Plus, it's a spook house. What else would you be doing?" He says something about it being the most fun in the park when you're laughing in the dark, even though, honestly, the Ferris wheel is probably just as good. Inside, Snot walks through a hall of mirrors, seeing various grotesquely distorted reflections, and this is actually the most terrifyingly realistic scene for some of us.
Look at me, I'm Zebo. Zebo. Hand over the dough. What do you think I am, some kind of clown?
A clown appears behind one of the mirrors and repeats what Snot says.
What do you think I am, some kind of clown?
Assuming it's not actually Zebo and is just a carny who has 100% killed a person or 7, Snot breathes a sigh of relief and continues on.
I know it's you, old man. You can't scare me.
The rest of the maze is filled with dummies of classic monsters, like a vampire in a coffin, a man holding his own head in his hands, Anita Bryant. Coming to his seeming dead end, Snot suddenly smells cigars. I told you it would come up again.
Pick the right door and you'll go free. Pick the wrong door and there he'll be.
He stands in a room filled with many different doors and remembers the carny's warning. One door good, one door Zebo. But there's actually more than 2 doors, and more than 2 possibilities, and one of them is a skull. Anyway, Snot is about to leave when he remembers that he came here with a purpose. Picking Zebo's nose. As if he can feel Zebo calling to him from behind door number 6, he opens it and is shocked to find Zebo behind it just like he expected. He screams. He cries. He wets his pants probably. He reminds himself that it's just a dummy, and he's a dummy for being scared. He protests way too much, but eventually he grabs the nose to spite the face of Zebo. I certainly would never call this kid a hero, but he would, and he does.
Thanks, guy. You just made me a hero. I'm the guy who beat Zebo.
And then he taunts Zebo for not being able to smell his stinky cigars anymore, and leaves. But wait, a light is glowing underneath door number 6. What could that be about? Probably nothing. After checking in on Kristen briefly, she's fine, by the way. It's the next day, and Snot is going on and on about being the kid who defeated Zebo.
Weege, it's you. The guys at school are gonna think so too.
Not funny.
Sorry.
After you get through wearing it, I'm gonna get it mounted, like a trophy.
Oh, please?
Then I'm gonna get it engraved. The kid who beat Zebo. Cool or what?
He literally will not shut the up about it.
Come on, you must have been a little scared in there.
No way! I'm telling you, it's all kid stuff, with fake dummies and bogus sound effects. Of course, it might have been scary for some people. People that say, bark, 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 bark.
Enough, all right? You're a hero and I'm a loser. What can I say?
I would make fun of his throw, but honestly, he throws that clown nose better than I could throw an actual baseball. Snot runs off to fetch the nose and smells, you guessed it, Febreze, as if someone is trying to cover up the smell of cigars.
Cigars?
He doesn't see anyone around, but when he picks up the nose and leaves, a cloud of smoke creeps out from the backyard and laughs.
I'm home. Mom? Dad?
Snot comes home to an empty house. His parents have tickets to the theater, and they're likely never returning based on what I've seen. They've left dinner in the fridge. He puts the whole entire casserole dish in the microwave, and then takes out the bowl of chocolate pudding and violates it with his dirty little fingers. He should be thrown in jail. He hears a noise, causing him to drop the pudding in a moment of poetic justice, and starts crying for his mommy.
Mom?
A closet door slowly creaks open. Snot grabs a bat from another closet. If we also include the closet this kid is clearly in, there's a lot of closets in this episode. He actively threatens whomstever may be in the closet before opening the door fully and coming face to face with the beginning of his mom's hoarding problem. Chastising himself for being such a scaredy cat, the phone rings and he screams.
Man, what is wrong with me? Hello?
Hey, Josh, this is Ouija.
He asks what's wrong with him, which is a question that people will be asking him for the rest of his life, and answers the phone. But it's only Ouija apologizing for nothing and bolstering Snot's already out of control ego.
Listen, I was kind of being a baby this afternoon. You won the bet and I shouldn't be mad at you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was giving you a hard time. Tell you what, I'll only make you wear the nose to school for one day.
I was kind of hoping you'd forget it completely.
You're dreaming, pal.
Snot insists on one full day of wearing the nose. Zebo Day, as he calls it, but we don't have to call it that.
Tomorrow's Zebo Day for you. Later.
The phone rings again immediately after Snot hangs up, and when he answers, he hears a creepy voice saying, 7 days. Snot reminds the voice that he didn't even watch the film. The voice apologizes for any confusion, and then starts screeching, give it back, and laughing maniacally.
Give it back.
Snot tells Ouija that he isn't going to scare him, looking rather scared, and hangs up the phone.
You can't scare me with kid stuff. There's no such thing as Zebo the Clown. No way. I'll just eat dinner and...
He takes the glass dish out of the microwave with his bare hands, seemingly without burning them, and notices that it's full of cigars instead of spaghetti. His mom has been trying out really weird recipes lately, and the family really can't wait for this phase to end. Then, he sees a footprint in the chocolate pudding with the letter Z, which he photographs and takes castings of because nobody is ever going to believe he found these footprints. Snot runs up to his bedroom and calls Ouija Herman to ask if he called before pretending to be Zebo.
Come on. Come on.
Hello?
Ouija, this is Josh. I'm...
Josh, slow down.
Tell me the truth. Did you call my house before and pretend you were Zebo?
Whoa, what's the matter, Josh? You sound kind of scared.
Ouija asks why Snot sounds so scared, and Snot is like, yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared all the time, okay? Did you or did you not call me and pretend to be Zebo?
I was scared on the ride, and I'm really scared now. Was that you?
Give me a break. Why would I?
What was that? Is that you, Kathy?
But guess what? Kathy never existed, but more importantly, their family only has one phone.
Josh, we only have one phone. It's gotta be at your house.
If you don't give it back, I'll come up and get it.
Oh yeah, by the way, have you checked the children?
Who was that? Josh, you there?
Snot bolts for the door to bolt it shut. The doorknob starts shaking wildly, and there's frantic pounding on the door, and honestly, in my chest. The only house chase scene scarier than this one in the 90s was when the Trunchbull was on the hunt for Matilda and Miss Honey in the children's classic Predator. Then, a purple balloon starts inflating underneath the door and floats up, revealing writing that says, "I heart dairy," and it pops with a burst of blood. Okay, that's from another beloved children's clown story. And this one actually says, "Give it back," and there isn't any blood. As any 90s kid would do, Snot climbs out his window, onto his roof, and I guess jumps off? He runs all the way back to Playland and breaks in. He goes through the maze in the spook house with seemingly no issues at all this time until he gets to the dead end. When it shuts behind him, he drops the brown paper bag he inexplicably has with him and is like, "F*** this," and goes straight for the exit door.
Forget it, I'm gone.
But it's locked. He smells the scent of a cigar burning and realizes the whole spook house is on fire. Okay. Maybe that's just what he deserves for what he did to that innocent chocolate pudding earlier, but instead, door number 6 opens of its own accord, and there's just a bunch of flashing lights in there for some reason. Snot grovels for mercy, admitting he was wrong to have stolen Zebo's nose.
I'm sorry. There, it's all yours. And, just to show there's no hard feelings, cigars.
Where did he get these cigars? I know he didn't steal them from his dad because he left from his own bedroom. Did somebody buy them for him? Could kids just buy cigars in 1992? Regardless of how he procured these cigars, Zebo seems to accept the offering, and Snot is allowed to return home to his parents, if they ever come back from the theater. The carny shows up to creep us all out one last time and reminds us that laughing in the dark is fun at the park or however it goes.
It's the most fun in the park when you're laughing in the dark.
Ferris wheel is probably just as good. Back at the campfire, the kids debate what happened in the story. Was it the ghost of Zebo? Was it just John Wayne Gacy after all? How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? Kristen is still blonde and so proud of herself for making it all the way through the big scary story. But then, one of these little shits puts on a clown mask and Kristen screams, not even knowing that in 2016 there's going to be like a whole period of time when people showing up in clown masks randomly is just going to be a thing. I think this episode stands out for a lot of people. I often see it on lists of top 10 Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes, and a lot of people I talk to about the show say they mostly remember the intro and that episode with the scary clown. Let me know down in the comments what episode scared you the most. This episode does have some truly unsettling moments, and it could easily be adapted for a mature audience and be made into something truly terrifying. Plus, this episode has some great lessons for kids. Smoking kills, stealing is wrong, and clowns know where you live, so don't cross them. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more episodes of me making fun of a show that I have very fond memories of. Let me know down in the comments what episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark you'd like to see me recap next. You can follow me over at Twitter at BronaIsGay and support me on Patreon so that I can keep making these videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next gathering of the Midnight Society.